Good morning. Hey, hi, hello, and welcome to another Fiberific live craft and chat. I'm sorry about the delay in start today. Turns out Louie got hungry. So I'm sitting out here Instagramming on my phone, relaxing. I'd done my speed tests. Everything was great. And I've come to the desk to start getting ready to go live, and I've realized there's no internet connection to my laptop. And I'm like, that was good like 10 minutes ago. Like, what's going on? So I've like jiggled all the cords and I've gone inside and I've rebooted the router inside. And as I'm walking back out, I'm looking at the cable because my cable is run from a room in my house and actually runs through the living room and out the side sliding door into my yard, across the yard and then out and then up through a window into the shack. And so, yeah, it's definitely been, it was definitely one of those things. And then I've spotted this like really weird looking part of the cable and I've looked at it and I've picked it up and I was just like, and it's like mushed, right? Like it's normally a very round cable. The plastic was gone. And yeah, it's dead. So thank you, Louie. That's not an inexpensive cable to replace. So yeah. I think bored is the question. Is the answer to that, Freaky? Hungry or bored? I think bored is food bowls full of food. Just when you think you can trust them, they revert to being naughty puppy again. Yeah, absolutely. Ruth Young says, lol, on TV, there's no ads. Wow. Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. He's probably downloaded the whole internet. Look, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I hope he didn't get a shock. I don't think he did. Look, I didn't hear any noises, so I mean, I'm assuming. So Louis managed to destroy another set of earphones yesterday. So there's a new set arriving today. I'm also trialing different like headbands to wear while I'm asleep to hold the earphones in, because what happens is when I roll around, they fall out, and then he digs them out of the bed. So yes, attention seeking. That's exactly what it is. He does not like it when he's left in the house and he knows I'm in the shack. He really, really doesn't like that. But I got to work, guys. I got to come and hang out with you guys. And he is not trustworthy out here either. Okay, so deep breaths, calming time, calming time. Oh, I'm going to have a sip of tea. If you want your own Fiberific mug, hang on a second. I should have thought of this. Like, get the branding going, Chantel. Banners. There we go. If you want to get your own Fiberific mug or totes or zippers or whatever, you can get yours from fiberific.redbubble.com. So, yeah, anyway, more tea for me. And in all that time, my tea's gone cold, so I'm topping it up already. It does not bode well. Does not bode well for a chat. Okay, so tea today, the tea we have today is our current favorite, and it is the mint slice from Tea Fatalia. So yeah, it's one of those fun things. People in the chat are suggesting that I get Louis a little friend. We are considering it. We have seriously considered it. We think he would be the kind of dog that does need a friend all the time. John's going to have a sip of chicken pot pie with a side of fettuccine Alfredo. Fine, John, fine. The problem that we have is puppies are very expensive, and we don't want a big dog, and the shelters only seem to have big dogs. So we only like little dogs, just because I'm one of these people that if I can't pick the dog up and carry it out of danger, I don't feel safe walking that dog. So, because other people don't train their dogs. We train ours, but other people don't train theirs, and this is not a great area. So we definitely prefer to have a dog that we can just pick up and take. So we will just, I don't know what we're going to do. Anyway, Mr. Tibbles isn't doing his job. No, he's not. He was sitting there as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they both did it together, because they're evil together. They're absolutely evil together. Mr. Tibbles is our cat. He's about 14, and he is not impressed that there's a puppy in the house. He's adjusting. He's adjusting. Okay, so I'm just, the chat's not scrolling here. I'm just going to do something there. Chat. change to that one, see if that make a difference. There we go. I'll move that one back, because when the internet dropped out, a lot of the things I had set up just went disconnected. So I'm just making sure they're all rebooted, because I wanted to make sure I jumped in to say hi before everything was ready. Okay. Obviously, you missed the training day where they taught them not to chew cables. The training we did was more about behavioral training outside of the house and with other animals around. And good morning to Enigmata. Hey, all the Fiberifians. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. We are doing very, very well, other than the fact that Louis has just chewed through the internet cable. So, you know, yeah. Alrighty. So my question, everybody, is actually I can make a poll. Hang on a second. I'm just typing. I don't want to say it out loud just yet. Here we go. I've thrown a new poll into the field. We'll check the results a little bit later. And it's, have you started a new project this week? Yes or no? Straight up yes or no. I don't want excuses. I don't want whys. I just want yes or no answers. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's already people voting. That's cool. I'm just having a quick read of the chat. Okay, I'm going to move my drink out of the way. Guys, I've got my queen out. So those of you that join in on the Zooms will know that this week I had or follow my Instagram. And if you're not following my Instagram, I'd like to know why not. I put a lot of effort into my Instagram, and I think you'd like it. So I'm just going to do the camera change of. Oh, okay. Oh, come on, little keyboard. All right. So I was working away on this during a Zoom, and I'm like, you know, when you get to a point and you're like, this isn't working. Why isn't it working? I just can't seem to make it work. And I was just like pulling the bit out and redoing it and pulling the bit out and redoing. And then I realized what the problem was. And it was like, I mean, it wasn't here. I wish actually, I'm glad it wasn't at this point. It was more like in the middle. But I realized that I had done something wrong in like this section here, which meant I had to pull back 4 rows to fix it up. So I've done that. I got to the and then I finished the row that was really doing my head in, the one that I pull back and pull back and pull back. And now I think, fingers crossed. Hang on, into the box. Get in your box, Chantel. Now I think that I've got it. I think I've got it. All right. Melissa says I'm slack on Instagram. Kathy wants to know if I've got my crown. It's inside. I remembered my glasses though, okay? Like, sure, that's got to count for something, okay? Sally's popped in my link to my Insta, so that is awesome. Enigmata has said, I just started a sweater yesterday. Analysis paralysis. Took me 2 weeks to decide on neckline and decide just cast on. I realized cast on is my dread task. Okay, well, we all need to know what our dread task is. For some people, it is the weaving in the ends. And for some people, it's the seaming, if it's all got to be joined together. I don't know what mine is. Mine's all the bits. I just like to do stuff. I don't know what my problems are. Lauren says that project is gorgeous. Thank you, Lauren. And it's good to see you in the chat too. Melissa, did you pull your queen out? I didn't know. I've missed so much stuff. I've been a little bit unwell this week, so I haven't been joining in too many Zooms. Chaos says, oops. I like to post pretty things on Insta. Working at it seems too much effort. Yeah, I agree. I like to play. How do I put this? Of all the social medias, right? YouTube is mostly live streams, and I try to take it serious. I try to make sure I'm doing all the right things for YouTube to make sure they're happy with me, because I don't want to be booted. Facebook page, serious. Facebook group, less serious, more fun, sharing about my things. Instagram, fun. Twitter is where I tend to rant and talk tech stuff. So if you want, so you can think about which ones of those you want to follow me on, but I'm Fiberific on all of the things. Where are we at? Leanne says, that's great, Melissa. You can answer the no to the poll. Who would have thought that could happen? Oh, that's mean. Skipping past. I love those Clover stitch markers. Just got them a few weeks ago. I have a thing for stitch markers. Call me weird. No, I won't call you weird. I have a thing for good stitch markers, and I love these ones. These are the, where is it up to? Okay, so it's got to get moved up to there. So these are the little sheep one. They're a little bit wiggly. See how they've got the wiggly edges? And if you close them up, they look like little sheep with no legs. They're little sheep with no legs. It's not going to focus because I set the focus point to here. But anyway, they look like little sheep with no legs. I call them sheepies. In all my, professionalism in my brain, they're my sheep stitch markers. And I like that I can leave them open, and unless I'm like shaking the life out of it, they tend to stay in mostly. So it doesn't matter if I forget to close them or if they pop open. So that's one of the things I absolutely love about them. So these are the Clover Quick Lock stitch markers. I love them. Highly recommend them. I do have some available in my web store. I don't think I've got this size at the moment, but I've got a couple of other sizes. But they are very, very good stitch markers. Otherwise, you can get them in all your good places, possibly even using an Amazon link. Yes, I did. She says, that's awesome. I'm so glad. Enigmata says, I always avoided them because I thought they were cheap plastic until I saw them and purchased a few of them. This is the thing. There are definitely cheap plastic stitch markers out there. And if you're paying the cheap price for them, then that's fine. And I even sell some that are off-brand, not Clover stitch markers. And they do die. They become brittle. But you get 20 for $3. Okay, so you get what you pay for. These guys are a lot more expensive. They're I think on my website, they're about $8.50 for, I'm not sure how many's in a packet. I think it depends on the size, but they're all $8.50 a packet. But they last so much longer, and they're easier. And they've actually, the little tip that they have on all of their different ones are much more tapered and finer. So I find them to be easier to get them in and out of projects. So everybody likes different things, and that's okay. I like these, and you should too. Game Widow says that she has a thing for stitch markers too. That's right. Game Widows makes the dangly cute ones. I'm just having a quick look at the three here. Chaos Creator has popped in a link for the Quick Lock stitch markers. Thank you. Oh no. John says, I closed my stitch markers on my queen, then my daughter decided to use it as a blanket, which it's not quite ready for. And you find all the stitch markers on the couch. Oh, Holly says, I'm finally parked. I could say hi. Hi, Holly. Welcome to the chat. So this week, I was just going to continue on with my queen, if that's okay with you guys. What are you all working on? If you are watching in the replay, and if you're watching live, I have a very important question for you. So you know how at the start of the stream, we have the little Fiberific screen with the music that goes. I was having a conversation with somebody who I really respect, who does a lot of lives on YouTube, and they were wondering why I don't use a countdown timer. Not in any sort of, derogatory way or anything. They were just asking the question. And I realized I hadn't set one up because I just haven't set one up. There's no real reason. If you are watching a live stream or a replay, would you prefer to see the countdown timer to work out how long you've got till it starts? And I'm not talking a long time, or I'm talking no more than 2 minutes, because generally what I like to do is start the stream and then I double check the stream is live, and because then I can hear the music and things like that. And that's one way for me to double check. So I need at least a minute, and I usually allow for 2. I didn't today just because we were running so late. But how would you guys feel about a countdown timer? Kim says you'd actually have to start. If you used a timer, you'd have to start when the timer finishes. That's right. And that's something that I need to get better at on my end, is make sure that I'm ready to start when that timer ends, which is why I'm thinking 2 minutes. So do you think that would be better, or are you happy just to have the thing at the start and go for like a random amounts of time because it's currently random. I try to go for 2 minutes, but sometimes I forget and I start talking and I look over and realize it's still going and I have to stop it and start again. So let me go. Let me know in the chat if you would prefer to. I may not have one by next week because I've never made one before, so I'm going to have to work out how to do it. So let me know in the chat if you think a countdown timer would be a good idea. I thought that was part of YouTube, a countdown. I'm not quite sure what that is. Oh, hi, Jody. Welcome to the chat. Timers are great. Yep. John says, if I watch a replay, I like timers so I know how much to fast forward. Also what Kim said. Yes, that will definitely be something that I have to do because that's the other thing with StreamYard. The second the timer finishes, it cuts to the camera. Like it's not a manual thing. So I could be sitting here like, oh, I'm live. Oh, so I need to be ready as well. So you're right. But that's just practice on my part. I can do that, I think. Lisby doesn't mind either way. But if you use that and a glitch like today happens and you're late, will it still work? So I need to start the timer. So it's a manual thing through the software. So I need to literally click start the timer. So if something like what happened today happened, I would probably not use the timer and just jump in. I would have the yellow screen with a bit of music because I don't want 2 minutes. Because that's the thing. Once you set a 2-minute time, I could probably make 2. I could make a 30-second and a 2-minute. So, but yeah, that's the thing. But I manually have to start it and finish it. One of the advantages of using StreamYard, which is the software that we use here to stream, is that if something happens, like say this happened now, like say Louis went through and chewed the cable now and I lost my internet connection. If I was just going straight through OBS into YouTube, that would be gone and YouTube would close my connection and I'd have to reboot and start a new live stream and I have to send out all the links to everybody because it's a new link, because it's a new video. With StreamYard, it holds it open. It holds it up like it'll be a blank, but it holds it open. So I could got time to jump in from my phone or jump in from wherever, and it won't close until I log in and close it. So there's definite advantages. Sally says, I cannot make decisions right now. My head hurts. Fair enough. So there's lots of whichever way you want to do. Freaky. I like this, Freaky. Whichever way is best for you, as long as there's fun time with friends. Yeah. Yep. What we might do is I might build one and then we can trial it and you guys can tell me if you like it or not. We can also work out if I can be ready after 2 minutes. That would be funny. Sally's got a headache right behind her eye. Oh my gosh. Like, I mean, I'm not a person who gets migraines. But when I get a headache that's behind my eyes, like compared to non-migraines, they're the worst. Like, I'm sure migraines are absolutely the worst, but I think for a non-migraine sufferer, these are the worst. Okay, so let's get some yarning going. What projects you guys are working on? So let me know in the chat. We've got our overhead camera set up again today. I've moved things since I set it up, so it could be bad. Let me have a look. Hello up there. So this is how big this project's getting now. It's like this wide by like, over 2 meters, just over 2 meters. So it's getting very big. It's getting very, very big. So, yeah. All right, we're joining on the poiple. Hope I've got enough poiple for a row because we know that my rows take forever. All right. Ruth said that the color of my queen looks good on TV. Oh, that's right. Ruth, I appreciate you putting me up on the big screen, sort of, not really. I actually do it myself. When I'm inside, like I will throw YouTube up on the television. It's so much easier, especially if you're crafting. You can sit in your comfy craft chair and yeah, and just sort of go from there. But when I think about the fact that I'm on TVs, that also stresses me out. But I'm also excited that it works because it's cool technology. Chaos says that I need to sew the pocket closed on my new handbag. You're going to machine sew it or hand sew it? Gail Smith is spinning for fire and water. What's fire and water? Melissa says, well done on last week's live. Wendy was brilliant. Wendy is amazing. I love talking with Wendy. Those of you that don't know, last week we had a guest. So you can check that out in the replays. Enigmata says, I'm working on a sweater with balloon sleeves. Nothing too fancy. Just got some cashmere merino yarn and trying it out. Nice. Sally says, you're the worst, still showing up to the party. Well, thank you, Sally. But you know what? You should go and have some meds and lay down. That's what I think. That's my opinion. Dr. Mum, in she comes. Deb's working on her Waru. Awesome. Hey, Jen Deal, welcome to the chat. Sally says, I started knitting a jumper the other day. Where else we are? Leanne says, I'm trying a new to me technique called Interlocking Crochet. I feel a bit all thumbs and fingers, but I'm determined. You'll get it. You'll get it. Oh, gosh. Lisby, thanks. Thanks, Lisby. But I don't think I'm technically 4K because I don't stream in 4K because I only stream in high definition 1080. So your TV might be 4K, but this stream's not. Oh, John's posted us on this 55-inch TV. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I feel about these photos being shared. Take a screenshot now where I'm little in a corner. I'm okay with that. Enigmata says, oh, sorry, Lauren, back to Lawrence. The Eru headband by David Van Kemp. I'll have to check that one out. I'm still learning about this yarn in my first attempt at using a lighter fiber. I've made a few sweaters using Supergosh wool, and oh my God, so heavy. So are you using a woolen style spun fiber that tends to be lighter? Josephine, welcome to the chat. I've started the Amigurumi Thief from the Mini Kingdom book. Cute. Cute. Holly says, I've just found out my niece is moving to upstate New York, so I need to start making a chevron blanket as a housewarming and goodbye gift. Oh. Wow. Melissa's asking if Deb is frogging. What? Oh, hang on. Wrong one. Deb, why would you be frogging? And Alice, the 7-year-old, hang on, Jen's message is there. I'm working on Igaya's hug. I finished a summer poncho too. Oh my goodness, you guys are doing fantastic. Pat Jacobs, welcome to the chat. I'm working on a 6-day kid blanket. Those 6-day blankets, do they actually take 6 days or is it just a thing? Because I haven't done one, but I look at it and I'm like, really? Is that it? 6 days? I mean, I would do one if I thought for a second they'd actually only take 6 days. Or is it like 6 full days? Like you've got to crochet morning till night. I would love to know. Please let me know. Alison started another crochet cowl. Okay. Oh, Lisby, I'm disliking the first round of the back border of my queen. I've heard that. I've done it. I did the little test sample one and I felt that on that. But when she says, make sure you're doing the stitches loosely, I really, really did do it loosely. So that helped, I think. Oh no, Deb is frogging. Oh. Sorry, Deb. I hope you can catch it back up pretty quick like I did. I managed to catch mine back up in a night. But it was like I had this one night to do some crochet and I was hoping to do a couple of rows. And I actually ended up having to pull out just over half of 4 rows. And I managed to get them back in and then go to bed. John says they take 6 days if you crochet fast. Jen says you can do a 6-day blanket in 3 days. Really, Jen? Because we've worked out, you and I, we crochet at a similar speed. So I'm going to take your word at that. Using cashmere merino yarn I bought on cones. Saw a few Korean YouTube videos and was curious about the yarn on cones. Got a few and I'm trying it out. I love working off cones, honestly. I find them to be, especially if you put them on the floor, they just flow nicely. I don't know how I go now with Louis the munching dog. One thing I wanted to do, I'm just having a quick chat to see if anyone else is got projects. Chaos Creator says that if you make it the baby size with worsted weight yarn, you can do it in 6 days. Worsted weight yarn, that's the thing, isn't it? That's so much chunkier. it's just a thing, but you can do a baby blanket in 6 days. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Because I've noticed there's a lot of blankets called 6-day and then the name. So I just wasn't sure if it was like a branding thing or not. Josephine has to go into a work meeting. Ew. Well, have fun. Now, before we get into the crafting and what have you, I would like to bring up our, hang on a second. I have to drop down the comment. It doesn't like it if there's a comment there. There we go. I would like to thank our Patreon supporters, and we have a new supporter this week, John O'Brien. Thank you, John, for being a superhero. Those of you that don't know what this is about, is this list of names here is of awesome people who help support this live stream by donating monthly to patreon.com. If one of the mods can chuck a link in, that would be great. And that basically covers things like lights and microphones and cords. And now I'm going to have to go and buy a new cord. I'm like, can I get it wrapped in barbed wire? And internet connections and all that kind of stuff, because live streaming is fun, but live streaming is not free. So I just want to say a huge thank you to these people, plus a couple of others who would prefer their name not to be listed. And just a huge, huge, huge thank you for those of you that every month chip in and help out, and it makes a difference. We're on a savings goal. We're on a savings goal to get another piece of equipment, but I'm going to have to, nab some out to go and buy a new cord now. So that's not exciting. That wasn't my plan for this weekend, was to go shopping for a new internet cord. But yeah, I definitely appreciate all of you, and all of you who watch here on the live as well and watching the replay as well. But the Patreon have just gone that little step further to chip in. If being able to chip in monthly is not something that you could commit to, I can't even talk now. In the description below is a link for something called Buy Me a Coffee. And that's a one-off thing. That's not a monthly commitment or anything like that. It's just a one-off. And that's also a really fun way to chip in if that's what you want to do. John bows. You're welcome, John. Thank you very much. Freaky says, I thought John has been a Patreon for months. Well, no, he hasn't. But now he is, and now he gets the new member title. So we'll see how that goes. Vanthia says, I haven't started a new project, but the yarn coming to make a tulle blanket. Tulle? I don't know. For a queen size bed. I may have ordered yarn. It could be coming. Not today. That's not what I'm expecting in the post today. It's still got some ways to come, but we'll see. I'll talk about it on another day. I'm hoping to make a video, so we'll see. Sally's popped the link in. Thank you, Sally. And now that I joined Patreon, you can get a new Ethernet cable in 16 months. No, John, luckily I'm able to save some of that Patreon money that I've been collecting over the last couple of months. So there's some money there. I can go straight out and buy a new one. So, we don't have to wait. We love you, and we help you find a Louis proof cord. I don't know if there is a Louis proof cord. I mean, the only real options is to run it where he can't eat it. And I'm just having a think, like, I could probably find a way to run it around the top, because normally what I do is I just run it through the middle of the house and then roll it back up and pack it up after a live stream. So Kim says, I just realized that what I'm paying doesn't even exist anymore. I don't know what that means, Kim. I don't even know what that means. Thule. Okay. Thank you, John. Can't imagine how much yarn you have. Do you have any info on new ChiaoGoo products or any other fun knitting products? I can tell you ChiaoGoo are actually removing some products. So since they're Tunisian, hang on, I'm just going to change camera angle for a second. Since they have brought out their interchangeable crochet hook set, they're actually going to be reducing down their fixed flexible hooks. So they've sent out an email they've sent out an email letting us know that what's going to be removed over. It's basically as their stock runs out, they're not going to order any more in. So I'm going to go and grab some because, you know, they do go. But so far, nothing new because they're based in America and they normally release their new products at some of the big, like TNNA and is it H&H? Anyway, there's a couple of big events they normally announce their new products in, and they haven't been running. So, I mean, I'm like, why not just run new products anyway? But like, reality is like, what would you think would be a good product? Because we could send them an email and say, hey, have you thought of making this? Personally, I want them to make just some straight double-ended hooks. I have to go to another brand because I don't like the really long ones. I like a short one. And they're really hard to get. There's only one brand that I know of that make them with the same hook size on each end. And I've sent them that email a couple of times and they're like, oh, thanks for your input. But I don't think anyone else is asking. So, you know, it's one of those things. If heaps of people don't want it, they're not going to worry about it. I just touched my hair and made it worse, didn't I? I've got like a bit here that's just doing my head in. Yeah, so I don't have anything new. Kim says, I thought I was on a $5 tier. I should still have a $5 tier. I'm going to go and have a look and check. I'll check the Patreon after the live stream because I thought there was a $5. There's a $5 tier. But I think that's like the $5 US tier. So if you're in here we go. Never mind. That was the AUD conversion. I was going to say, if you're looking at it in AUD, it'll be different. Sally, you go and have some meds and lay down. Thank you for jumping in and trying. I appreciate that, but you need to look after you. I like this. Buy a cord that will shout no when the pup gets too close. Definitely, I would like that. Might as well go grab some now. I was thinking of getting the Tunisian kit, but holding off for now. The Tunisian kit's going to stay. It's some of their fixed interchangeable in the Tunisian kit sizes that are going to go. What do you use the double-ended hooks for? So there's some cool stitches that you can do. Actually, John sent out a thing the other day, and I was just like, that's a cool one to do. There's some cool double-ended stitches that they just create a slightly different stitch. They look nearly more woven. Also, I do double-ended hook crochet for a double-sided blanket that I make. But there's lots of different things that you can do with double-ended hooks. So have a Google. There's some really cool techniques. Apparently my US $5 is now AU7. Oh, sorry about that. I'll have to look into it and see if I can pop in something in between to balance it out a little bit, because I've got the $2 US and the $5 US. I'll have a look and I'll see. And the buy me a coffee, I think I've set to $4. I want to say $4. Can somebody tell me? I don't even know. A few years ago, that would have been $8 or $9. Lisby says a Tunisian kit is wonderful. How are you going with it? Lisby picked hers up not that long ago. So, Enigmata says, do you have the kinky Amabiri Knits products? Beautiful brand. No, I don't. I only have the Chow Goo. That's the only brand I sell. When it comes to, of knitting products, then I have Clover for hooks as well. Ruth says no, the buy me a coffee is $5. Okay, Ruth, thank you for that. Appreciate you letting me know. I need the new blue shorty kit to complete sets now. Yes, I have a blue shorty kit right here that I was going to give to you. That's right here, right now. It's over there. So that one will be for you. And I'm going to keep your old one because I've had it longer than you have. So Ruth says that, nope, it's $5. All right. I thought I had that set to $4 for some reason. Anyway, Chaos Creator says it's $1, $2, and $5 USD for that. Yep. All right. I'll go and check that. Hi, Anne. Welcome to the chat. How are you going? Lisby's made a couple of washcloths this week using the Tunisian Simple Stitch and is loving it. That's awesome. Chaos Creator wants extra cables. Were there extra cables in the set you lent me? Because if not, if there are, I'll just pop them back into your set. But anyway, we'll deal with that later. We don't need to deal with that right now. That's not a right now thing. All right, let's get back into our project here. I'm joining on the yarn. So those of you that have followed along with this before, this is not a tutorial. If you want the tutorial for this project, you need to go over to Tina's YouTube channel, which I probably haven't linked this time. But this is, and the deal I have with Tina for being able to work on this is that I have to keep the chart off screen. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm respecting Tina's copyright, and it's her baby, and she is letting me work on it on camera, which not all designers do, I have to tell you. So I'm pretty chuffed that she has okayed it. So yeah. I love the Shorties kit, the blue and red. Also buy the Shorties cable to make more flexible DPNs. Yeah, those little 2-inch cables are really handy. Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8. Freaky says that her video popped up into the recommended feed again. Kim says I got an extra of each length. All right, I'll double check your kit, and I will make sure you get all that stuff back too. So I've actually got a big order of blue cables coming in too, like all extra stuff. Right, let me have a look. Hang on, I bumped this, and now it's showing me half of one row and half of another row. So that's not ideal, is it? How many of you have done that before? Been working along and then realized you're working on the wrong row because you're like, this isn't lining up. This isn't doing what I need it to do. What's going on here? Because like, that's me. I've done it I don't know how many times. Also working into my tails. Working my tails is not fun. What yarn am I using? Enigmata. I'm using the Knit Picks Brava in the worsted in about 1 million different colors. So my whole project is in the Brava worsted weight. I actually really like the Brava worsted. I know not everybody does because we all have our own tastes in yarn, but I think it's fantastic to use. It holds its stitch definition really, really well. And it was really inexpensive, especially for a project this size, because mine's going to be an Australian queen size, which is coming out to be about 2.2 meters wide before the border. So yeah, because I like my blankets to go over the edge of the bed a little. I don't like them to just plop on the top with the bare mattress. It bugs me. I'm just having a look here. You guys are all chatting with each other, which is cool. Talia says, yep, I've done that. We don't keep count of how many times. Awesome. Yeah, so I've got some projects that I have, one in particular that I have purchased the yarn for, which I'm hoping to do a video on the yarn when it arrives. Just a little first impressions, because it's yarn I've never used before. And so we'll see how that goes. But today's post, if it arrives, because like just because I say it's coming doesn't mean it doesn't mean it is. Like Abby had like a notification that she had a parcel coming. It's like it's on track for delivery 3 days in a row before it finally turns up. So yeah. Freaky says, be right back. A cat demands attention. Enigmata says, nice, thanks for sharing. Good to know you use accessible products, because sometimes you see expensive yarns and products and it's cost prohibitive. Look, and I do. I will use hand-dyed yarns for things. Actually, I'll put that back up. I'm going to have a little chat. I will absolutely use hand-dyed yarns for things. This blanket behind me, I'm going to go to my biggest shot. Nope. There we go. That blanket behind me, that's all made with hand-dyed yarns, but dyed by me. And both myself and Joss, who sometimes is in the chat, we worked on it together because I ran out of time and she bailed me out. So thank you, Joss. And I made that one, and I sold kits for it as well. But I don't spend hundreds of dollars on yarn for a blanket. I've got to justify it to myself. And I felt guilty enough spending, I think it was like, would have been about 120 Australian dollars on this. And this is going to make a full queen size blanket. So that's like cheap. when it comes to like blanket quantities. And it's definitely one of those things, and you have to decide for yourself, who is it going to be for? Are they going to care for it properly? Because if they're not getting hand dyed. Then probably not even getting wool. They'll get acrylic. And while I have got things I'm allergic to, and there's some acrylics that set off, like I get this rash on my arm. There's some acrylics that set that off. What's that one that everyone loves? It's got like a million colors. It looks great. I cannot think of its name. Somebody, can you please tell me in the chat? Everyone in Brisbane's got it. I know that Tenna does a lot of her designing in it because it's got tons of colors. Stylecraft. Kim Nelson, welcome to the chat. Stylecraft, that's the one. Stylecraft is one of the ones that sets off my skin, so I can't use that. And whereas the Brava doesn't, and so I'm like, thanks. But the Stylecraft has way more colors, and so it's like, so if I was making it for somebody else, then I would consider Stylecraft and just wear it like gloves or something, or put cream up or something like that so that it doesn't react as badly. Whereas because I wanted to go with the Brava worsted for a start, it was going to make a bigger project, so I needed more balls of yarn. So all these decisions I had to make before I started. And so that's why I went with the Brava. I've used it for a blanket before. It looked amazing. The colors really pop. I don't know if this camera is really doing the best of justice. There you go. The colors are gorgeous. That's the back. But yeah, it's like everyone has to make their own decisions. But honestly, for gifts and things like that, I don't always find that hand-painted yarns are the best idea, because even if they're hand-painted on a superwash, you really shouldn't machine wash it. Just because the yarn can deal with it doesn't mean the dye can. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it depends on the dyer. So you always have to check with your dyer. For me, when I'm dyeing, I'm like, try not to hand wash this, hey? Like, it should be fine. This is supposed to be color fast. But it should be fine. That's all I can say, because I don't usually machine wash any of my handmaids. Most of them, unless they're acrylic, most of them will get washed in a bucket. Like, I'll literally put them in a bucket with warm water and, Tantec delicate wash, and then I've got a spinner. So I am lucky because I've got the spinner I use for the dyeing. I will literally tip the bucket straight into the spinner very carefully, and then spin out all the water and then lay it out, and it dries really fast. So yeah, but I can't use the Stylecraft because I get that red thing on my arm. It's annoying. Have you used Paintbox? I've never used it. I've seen it. It looks good. Never used it, never touched it. I have no idea how I'll go with it. Freaky Geeks giving us a good reminder, hit that like button and make sure you're in the live chat, not the top chat. So if you're looking at your screen and you see top chat and a little down arrow, click that and you'll change to live chat. You might be missing some comments. YouTube lets you know what they think you want to see. It's like, you're not the boss of me, YouTube. Actually, you are. So Kim's saying just wash it with salt. Oh, Kim. Oops, there we go. That's just a conversation between the girls. Hello to all showing up and the lurkers. Hello to everybody. What about a spin and drain machine? So it depends on your machine. If you've got a front loader, I probably wouldn't recommend it because it's pretty, it gets a bit like clunk, clunk, clunk until it starts spinning properly. If you've got like a top loader, it's probably, it's going to depend on the yarn really, but I mean, it's definitely worth a try. It's definitely worth a try. I would make sure, even if you're in a top loader or whatever, I would put it in with, like in a bag, so it's not stretched out of shape. I'll make sure it's in some sort of laundry bag or a pillowcase, and then pop in like a pair of jeans or something that's not going to bleed to counterbalance your machine. So that would be my suggestion if you're going to use a washer. So yeah. Who likes egg sandwiches? I like egg sandwiches. I am one of them tragic kids that loved egg and lettuce sandwiches as long as the egg was not curried. because egg and lettuce sandwiches, there should be no curry in that mix. Yeah. John says, I have a top loader with no agitator. Well, that's probably definitely worth trying, John. Oh, sorry. Leanne says, I've quickly changed my mind on Stylecraft because it peels after a few gentle washes. My grandchildren, my test monies that do have an amazing array of colors. Yeah, look, and this is the thing. When you get cheap yarn, and it is the case for expensive yarn sometimes as well. When you get cheaply made yarn, maybe I should specify that, sometimes they don't wear the best. They look amazing until they're washed a few times, and then they don't look amazing anymore, and they're a lot of work, and they shrink back and they peel, and yeah, it's one of those things. Now, I will confess I haven't done much washing of the Brava. My blanket that I made went to another household, so I don't know how it's going. I should probably ask. But this one's going to be for my household. Like when I washed it to give it away, it was fine. It looked really nice, actually. It came up and it just got a little bit softer even after a wash. But it's one of those things that it's going to depend on your machine, your detergent, everything. So yeah. Lots of chatted spinners. Lots of people talking about eggs. Kim's having a putball. Kim, I may have had a putball with a coffee before live stream. Melissa says Fiddlestick's anti-peeling is way better than the Stylecraft I've found. I haven't tried it. I should probably get my hands on some and give it a try. Definitely. I've been hearing a lot about these anti-pilling yarns, and I've never tried any of them to give them a good run. So one of the reasons that makes yarn pill in the first place is the shortness of fibers. So that's why, people with cashmere really are very cautious with it, because cashmere peels like you wouldn't believe, because it's a very, 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 very short fiber. So when you're spinning wool, your staples tend to be about this sort of length. So when it's twisted, it can be like that length of staple can be carried across a few stitches usually. And so that holds its twist in place, which holds the yarn in place and stops it from coming out and peeling. Now, that's not to say it won't, it just reduces the risk. But if you're doing things with very short staples, especially that are softly spun, they've got nothing holding the fibers in place. So it will come apart and little bits will come out and create peels, and that's how peels happen. Or peeling in fabrics and yarns, not all peels. There we go. Lots of discussions here. So yeah. Alrighty. I may have had a rant. I think it's time for some tea. Has anybody else tried any of the anti-pilling yarns out there? I would love to know what your opinion is on them. So yeah. Good point. Good point here. Alison says, and woolen spun also peels more than a worsted spun. That's right, because woolen. Okay, quick spinning lesson. A woolen preparation is like carded fibers, and all the fibers are going, all over the place, and you get a really beautiful like halo effects, and they're normally loftier yarn, so you get a thickness but with less weight to it, and they tend to peel more because all their fibers are like going. Whereas a worsted preparation, part of that process, so when we're spinning top and things like that, is all those fibers have been lined up and they're all perfectly in line. So the difference between using carders or using hand combs, so combs, not cards. So when you hand comb, you're creating a worsted product. So you are lining all those fibers up to be in perfect alignment. I'm looking around to see if I've got any fiber handy, and I don't. Whereas when you've got them beautifully lined up, they become a slinkier, stronger, because they're all spun together and there's less ends poking out, which is where the peeling, the weak spot is basically. So yeah, that's like a 101 version for you guys. I hope that made sense. And so different yarns are made different ways. Some are worsted, some are woolen, and some are semi-worsted, which means that they were prepared in a worsted fashion, but then spun in a woolen fashion, which is like an in-between. It's kind of the best of the both worlds, I think. John says, I crochet so tight the fibers aren't going anywhere. Fair enough. Is she teaching Australian Sign Language? No, I do not know ASL, which I should probably learn. Ruth Young says that Premier has an anti-pilling that works up great, and I've yet to have a problem with it. Have washed a blanket 4 times already and no pilling. That is good to know, Ruth. I'll definitely look into that one. So that's Premier anti-pilling. I'll definitely have a look at that. Combs are on your wish list, Game Widows. I love my combs. There was actually a conversation in one of the groups I'm in, and someone was asking, oh, which ones are better, hand combs or hand carders? And I was just like, I have both, because they do totally different jobs. It's like saying, should I buy crochet hooks and knitting needles? It's like, do you want to crochet or knit? Like, that's to me, that's how different a preparation you get. Oh, that was the other one, fiddlesticks. Thank you. I was just going to ask. Fiddlesticks anti-pilling, because while I love Bendigo Luxury, I do find it pills a little. Jackie forgot about the live. That's totally fine, Jackie. I've been hearing you having internet issues. Oh no, I thought I bought cheap combs. Turns out they were dog grooming tools, but they still work for small batches, and they absolutely do. That's the thing. They absolutely still work. So the dog combs work as combs, and the dog brushes work more like carders. So there's 2 different. Oh, sorry, Auslan, you're right. Not ASL. ASL is the US version. Alison is right. Also, more twist in the yarn tends to have less pilling. So definitely, like these guys here, I would consider them to be softly twisted. I don't know. I don't think you can. Hang on. I'm going to see if I can do something here. So here it doesn't take much to untwist it. So see how that's opening up really quite quickly? That's a softly spun yarn. But, you know, I paid like $1.20 a ball. I think I'd be more upset if I paid more. Combs are on Bub's wish list as well. Dang, they are not the same thing with 2 names. Yeah, shocking. Hey, John says, I noticed one of my boys' blankets peeling. It's the Red Heart Super Saver. I made the thing 3 years ago, and I wash dry in the machines. Yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like, no yarn is really meant to be washed and dried in machines, except the reality is, who of us here have time to hand wash and lay flat dry blankets? Like, not me, not this chick. They all go in the machine. Most of them go in the dryer. Bendigo cotton doesn't cope the best with going fine in the machine, starts getting a bit fluffy in the dryer. And that's a cost. That's a decision I make going in. And that's the important thing of understanding about different yarns and things like that. Some are amazing to work with, but don't last. And some are trash to work with, but then last forever. So you kind of got to weigh it up. Oh, here we go. Leanne says, I did my son's Grafgan in the fiddlesticks. Is that the anti-peeling fiddlesticks? So I'm waiting for the report back. I love that. One hand signing, I think, is still, like, I still think there's an Auslan version. I've got family who sign. And yeah, and then there's also signing into someone's hand if they're blind and deaf. 2.2 meters wide. I hope you didn't pay a lot for that yarn. Yeah, it's very big. It's going to be a very big blanket. Since you use cones, how do you twist them if you're using more than one cone at a time? My cones come in lace weight and I use several at a time. Would be nice to twist for faster knitting. I don't. If I'm working off multiple cones, I don't twist it. If you have a spinning wheel, you could twist it that way if you wanted to. but I tend to not add the twist. It does speed things up, but it also will make a barber pole. So I tend not to twist them if I'm working off multiple cones. But it's personal. This is your project. You get to do it how you like. But yeah. But an option is, and it always will be, a spinning wheel is a twisting machine. That's what they do. Jackie, yes, and the space to lay a wet blanket long enough to dry. Can you imagine what would happen if I laid a blanket out to dry with Louis around? He eats through internet cables. He's going to take out a blanket. Blanket forts and fights and God knows what else they spilled on it. Yeah, kids definitely need their blankets tossed in a machine. Leanne says, I hand wash my handmaids, but my daughter and daughter-in-law have no time for that. So projects need to be made machine wash. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kim's suggesting a lazy Susan for twisting the yarns. I think that would end up being more work though, right? Like a lot more work. I mean, I'm not going to say no. It could work phenomenally well. I've no idea. I've never tried it. I should probably keep crocheting, like considering in this whole video I've done that. Like none. Please tell me that I'm not the only one doing no work. Let me know in the chat. Are you actually doing any crochet right now or knitting or whatever your project is? Kim was taught one-handed sign language back in her 20s so that she could keep talking and drinking at birthday parties. Oh my goodness. I mean, that's a reason to do it, I suppose, as long as the other person understands sign language. Jackie says, yep, yarn choice based on end use and user. Absolutely. Because we have people in our lives that we love, and while they're not technically knit worthy, we still want to make them handmade hugs. So we have to make it in a way that they will appreciate. I'm just looking at this and I'm like, is that right? I think it is. Hang on a second. I just need to look at a section of the chart. No, that should be. I don't know. Let's throw the chart on the ground, Chantel. Oh my goodness. Don't show the chart on the camera. And the chart moved. The keeper moved. All right, it's definitely telling me 4. All right. Lauren's still working on the headband. Awesome. Oh, guys, I have to pop the bee right back on for just a second. I think there's a courier. So hang on for 1 minute. I'm back. We have post. It's not exciting. It's really not. Sorry about that. I don't get any notice. They like toot their horns and you got to get out there. Okay. So you're working on conversation shawl. So lots of you are still working. So that's good to know. That's good to know. See, I think there should only be 3 stitches there and it says 4. I don't know how I feel about this. So that one only had 3 before. Hang on, guys. I'm going to check my chart to make sure I'm doing it right. Ah, I worked out what it was. And you're going to laugh. That's the beginning of the new repeat. I was continuing on with the repeat, and I've got to go back to the start of the... Anyway, you know how I said it feels like it should only be 3? It's because it is only 3. That's right. I'm an umpty. Okay. Facial expression is important in sign language. Absolutely it is. It can change the meaning of words. Jackie, I 100% agree. I think sign language should be taught in all schools. Always. Deb has just finished, has frogged all the lace sections in the Waru. Not sure if I'll frog it all. Love my yarn choice, but the pattern is doing my head in. Oh, no. Where are we? Yeah, you'd want it to be right. The people who create them wicked cool know this. I think I've missed something. Who knew choosing a font was so difficult? Yeah, it is. I know where I'm going to use my Cricut. Choosing the font is the hardest. Cold tea. That's not delicious. Let's fix that. Top it up with the hot tea from the T2 tea thermos. I've obviously really gotten over sticking milk in my tea thermos, haven't I? You should see how much I scrub it out. It's hilarious. I'm surprised. Like, if the inside was just a coating, it'd be gone. It would be gone because I scrub really a lot. I don't like old milk. Milk is one of those things. I love drinking milk. I love using milk and things, but I cannot deal with old milk. I'm already feeling unwell. I'm going to stop talking about that and move on. I need to move on. Oh. All Comic Sans all the time. The good thing about crocheting over knitting is that when you frog your work, it's only 1 stitch at a time. And that's one of the perks. The catch is when you're knitting, if you need to frog a stitch that's down here, you can knit along to there, drop that stitch, fix up your mistake, pick it back up and keep going. But if you do that same problem in crochet, you have to pull it all out back to there. So they both got their pros and cons. Yeah. All right. Okay. Hang on a second. So 3. Now we do 4. Okay. It's all good. It's all good. Nothing to see here. Actually, there's plenty to see here. Please don't click away. Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? It's like they train us. Our postie has me trained well. She'll drive her bike up to the front door and beep her horn for me to come get the mail, and I usually go get it. And that's the thing. Like, they'll toot. Amazon guys will toot. Like, if they know the car's here, they'll toot and I'll run out. But if there's no car here, they have to come in and take it to the front door. Otherwise, I complain loudly and bitterly. Like, you card me for one of these parcels because it's a courier company. And I signed the thing. And I'm home like 99% of the time, unless they come during school run. 4 is what I'm doing here. 4. And then that. It's amazing how, if you read the pattern and do what the pattern says, how quite often, and I'm not going to say always because we all have had those horror stories, quite often it works out exactly how it's supposed to work out. So, yeah. I remember making a sweater or a jumper for Tim, and I made all the fronts and all the backs, and I'd made the sleeves, and I could not get the sleeves to join on for the life of me. I was getting the stitch counts were totally wrong. It looked wrong. It was just totally wrong. And then I eventually contacted the designer and I was like, look, is there any errata on this pattern? I just cannot seem to get it. And this was back years ago before I learned how to fudge and make things right. And it turned out that there was a mistake in the design. And the mistake was it shouldn't have included sleeves. It was a vest. And those sleeves were off a different sweater and they were never going to fit. So I currently, in some bags, still have the front and the back of this sweater because Tim will never wear a vest. So one day I will have the courage to work it out for myself and add some sleeves to that sweater. So, hey, Lindsay, welcome to the chat. Oh, no, you joined a Cal on the Zoom meetings during the first half. That's okay. What Cal are you doing? That sounds fun. Ozpost gave me time frame for delivery for my last parcel when they sent me the text that it was coming that day. They used to just, it was coming, but not what time. Yeah. I don't like the courier that delivers all the Amazon stuff. We get a message saying it'll be within a 3-hour time frame, which is cool. But not the Ozpost delivery, not usually, which is what, like, I've got my Amazon box here and I can unbox that for you. I know what's in it. There's nothing terrible in it, but it's also not exactly exciting. It's cords and new earphones because Louis has now destroyed 2 sets of earphones. Well, actually, he hasn't destroyed 2 sets. He's destroyed 2 right ears. So, because I wear the single loose ones. So, that's what I was going to ask. Any of you that are sewers in this group, do you have or know of or can recommend a wide, like I want wide, like headband because I want it to cover my ears and not move. I bought some headbands yesterday, but they're like 2 inches wide, but it moved when I was asleep. My earphones still fell out. So I want to try and make like a really wide one to sleep in, which feels stupid in Queensland. But I'm so terrified that one day Louis is going to eat an earbud and actually swallow the battery. And so far he hasn't. He just crunches them up. But it's going to happen, like King Crunchalotsky. And I have to keep reminding myself, Snowy went through the same thing, not with earbuds, but she totally ate through cords and she chased the chickens and she ate through clothes like the laundry and things like that. Louis steals the laundry but doesn't destroy it. Snowy used to destroy it. So yeah, if you guys have got any suggestions for a headband that I can sew, like I've got a sewing machine and I've got some stretchy fabric. So yeah. My package delivery postie took a package addressed to me to my dad's house last week because I wasn't home. Talk about above and beyond. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. As long as, you know, it's okay with you. It's a sweater treat. Pick your pattern, pick your yarn. I'm doing the outline tee, which is all in stockinette after giving up on a lacy cardigan. Oh, gosh. I like this. Amazon. Joe will be delivering your package at 3:42 after he finishes ham sandwich. That's pretty much what it's like. That's pretty much what it's like. Game Window says cut off a sleeve of a t-shirt. I mean, that's not a bad idea. I'm just thinking about the t-shirts I've got. So yeah. UPS. USPS. You ordered something? Oh gosh. What about a swim wrap? They have them for keeping your ears dry. I've never heard of a swim wrap. I'll have a look. Lisby says, I'm not enjoying this. Are you talking about the edging on your queen or today's live stream, Lisby? Because that could be offensive. I mean, I don't know. You got to give us more information. That's not enough information. Oh, where am I up to now? I've done my 3, back to 4. Okay. I'm so stressed out. And I think it's because last time I went to work on this and was, chatting. I wasn't concentrating properly, and obviously it screwed something up. Oh, harsh. Oh, no, not that one. Bit from column A, a bit from column B. Ah. I suppose we've got your parcel. We're going to send it on a holiday around the country since you can't go anywhere at the moment. Then we'll hold it ransom. Yeah. Oh, no, it's the annoying border that she's having a problem with. Okay. All right. But yeah, Ozpost is shocking, honestly. Sometimes they're phenomenal. Sometimes they're absolutely phenomenal. I am shocked at how fast something arrives. And then other times you're just like, oh, do you know what? I could have gotten in my car and driven there faster. Like, it is legitimately that. Like, I could legitimately drive to another state. But yeah, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Now, I understand that there's problems, and I get that, and I shouldn't expect the world. But you know what would be really nice? If they refunded you or gave a discount when they botch it. Like when your parcel goes through the same mail sorting center 14 times before it spirals off to the correct state, it should never have been in that mail center. So, yeah. Oh, if the borders were open, you could. I mean, there's that. There's the actual logistics. Goodness me. Freaky's censoring himself tonight. Wow. Okay, so if you are in the chat and you haven't voted in our poll yet, jump in and vote for the poll, because in about 5 minutes I'm going to end the poll. And so in our poll today, we are asking if you have started a new project this week. Now, I can honestly say that no, I haven't started a new project this week. Now, I may have bought yarn for new projects. The yarn hasn't arrived yet, so there's no temptation. But yeah, I love when you pay for 2 days shipping and get the thing in 6 days, because they don't offer 2-day packing. Look, I understand that. Yeah, I also have a note on my website that express post does not include express packaging, because I only ship a couple of days a week. I don't ship every day. So I kind of get that from small businesses. Big businesses, not so much. But small businesses, yeah, I kind of get it. I hate it when I pay for express post and they don't send it express post, but then they don't refund you. Uh-oh. Have we lost the internet? Oh, please don't tell me we've lost the internet. No, it looks good still. My chat was disconnected. I don't know why. This is very concerning. I'm very concerned. You guys let me know if everything's going okay. I can't tell because the phone that I would normally be using is hanging out the window. You can still see and hear me? Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you. It's just that chat that's not working. I can see the chat coming through StreamYard, but not coming through YouTube. Express post isn't what it says anyway. My parcel's still sitting in Brisbane Airport. They've actually, Australia Post have currently, they have paused their express post guarantee and had done for like the last 18 months. So it's still their fastest option, they reckon. But yeah, definitely paused. Everything's fine there. Thank you guys. I appreciate you letting me know. Holly says, I sent my stepdad a box from Harry and David instead of flowers when his mum passed, and FedEx delivered it, but turned out they delivered it to someone else's house. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, Alison, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. Oh, no, that's the worst. That's the worst when you send something, especially something so meaningful. Gosh. I got your parcel sent the day before. Okay, so for clarification, I sent Game Widows a parcel just using stamps, just surface mail, not even parcel post, but just surface mail. And she got it the day before the express, got sent the day before the express post one, and it arrived before the express post one, which is so weird. That's so weird. I'm going to have to go see everyone in a couple of weeks. Okay, you have an awesome time, Melissa. Bye. I'm going to see if even if the internet's not being good here, if I can end this poll. So let's have a look here. It's not going to let me end the poll because it's not connected. Oh, come on. You've got this. End the poll. What if I refresh that? If I refresh it, does it do anything? Let's try. Oh, this could be bad. Oh, now it's, that's the problem. It wants me to verify who I am. Are you legitimately who you say you are? Yes, I am. Come on, you got this. Chat, if you can let me know if everything went according to plan here, that would be great. Did we lose the live stream? Are we still going? We're still going. It looks like we're still going. Oh, yes. And I can end the poll, I think. End the poll. All right, let's see if our poll results come up. That was terrifying. I'm still going. Thank you. See the advantage of using StreamYard. Oh my gosh. There we go. The poll is going. The poll happened. Fantastic. Okay. So 67% of you voted yes, you have started a new project. There were 40 votes. So, oh my gosh. That is insanity. So those of you that started your new projects, did you complete a project to start a new project, or are you like me and just went new thing and started the new thing even though the old thing's still going? I would love to know that, just to make myself feel better, for no other reason than to make me feel better about just starting new projects. Freaky Geek says, I may start something in a day or two. Not sure yet. Okay, fair enough. Oh, you guys, just technical glitches, huh? This is the live streaming dream, isn't it? Like, we just live stream. It's so much easier to live stream, right? Off of my heart rate. Are you ready for next weekend? Not quite. Not quite. I'm getting there. I'm going through my packing list and double checking that I'm happy with everything and packing alternates for everything. So, yeah. It's one of those things. And I can't seem to find anywhere that sells slippers that I like. Slippers that I like. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I'm just going to have to wear socks and slides or something. I was blocking my queen before doing the border, and I need something else to keep my hand and mind busy. Yep. New things while still doing the old thing. Okay, that's legit. I finished the baby blanket and started the crochet along. Awesome. Kelly wants a new poll. Did you complete a project? All right, come on. I think I can have another poll. Did you complete? And I'm legit doing this. If it lets me. There we go. I can't type while people are looking. Oh, there we go. There's a quickie poll and a stream quickie poll. So get your answers in. Quick. Wow. Lots. Oh, hang on. Everyone's chatting. Put a current project in the naughty basket. Yep, definitely. New thing, of course, everything else is boring. I love that, Chintamani. Lol. I have a few whips even though I started a new project. Oh, you had to start the new. See, Holly, legit answer. Legit. It's like, had to start this one. Something insane came up and I've got to get it done. So next weekend, Lisby, I'm going on a sewing retreat. So and Deb's going to be at the same retreat. So I have a couple of projects going at the same time. Awesome, Pat. I don't know. I'm not going to make, it's not those kind of slippers. I want the slippers like for walking around outside, so that when I'm walking from the cabins to the hall where we knit, not knit, sew, because it's a sewing retreat, Chantel. Yeah. Yeah. So definitely, I want those ones with the, the soles. John, the answer is no. No, we didn't start a project just by buying the yarn. Otherwise, I started more than one project this week. Yeah, next week I'm off to an amazing sewing retreat that's run by a local Queensland lady. She's a sewing bag designer, Kylie Jersey. I can't even say her last. Little Moo Knits. No, Little Moo Designs. Oh my gosh, Little Moo Designs, and her bags are amazing. I'm still learning. I'm not flash, but I love the retreats. They're so much fun, and it's the same place where we had the Fiberific retreat. So I'm pretty impressed with that place. So, Jackie says we're supposed to finish things. Yes, Jackie. Apparently we are. Stacy says, I bought new project bags, so I had to fill them with new things. Oh, no. Vampire says, I finished a couple of whips now. I only have 13 going. Is that all? You totes need to start some more stuff. Because, you need to make me feel good about myself, right? Wait. Jersey Kowski. Thank you, Kowski. So, Kylie has Little Moo Designs has an unusual surname, and we it's something that is hard for me to say. So Kim keeps reminding me it's Jersey Kowski. So yeah, but it is yarn for a specific project, not collecting the yarn, and that's what mine is as well. I picked some projects and then saved on shipping by bulk ordering a few things. Also got some discounts because I bulk ordered, because one of the suppliers is one of these ones that gives you extra money off if you buy more. So it's just like, sweet as, brew. I'll have 10 of those, or 20, as the case may be. Use thongs to crochet slippers. No, I wanted proper ones. I wanted like Uggs, well, not Uggs, but like, that kind of thing. So yeah. Oh, okay, here we go. Flip-flops are what Australians call thongs, the little rubber shoes that you slide your feet into with the little thing between your toe. We call those thongs here. And we don't call a thong, we call that a G-string. So, yeah. It's the whole naming things different because we're in a different country. But we have had to learn that it's called something different in other countries, because that's an embarrassing conversation. My mother gave me grief for doing nothing but sitting on my butt and making blankets. I told her I had to pick up the slack for her, a grandmother of 3, retired, who does 0 fiber crafts. Oh, how did that go down? I bet that went down like a ton of bricks. Pluggers. I only call double pluggers, like the ones with the 2 plugs. I don't call them pluggers, otherwise I call them thongs. I don't know, John. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm sure that question has an answer, but I don't know the answer to it. Yeah, you guys are shocking. Shocking is what I'm going to say. Shocking. You're all shocking. And not just Lindsay and not just Freaky and John today. Lindsay's in there. So last time when Louis chewed up my earbuds, I did not go out and buy the expensive ones that I like because they were too expensive, right? I didn't have that kind of money. Well, in the meantime, I bought like this little cheapy set, which he has since chewed up. And then yesterday when I went looking to buy new ones to replace those, the ones that I wanted had been reduced from $300 down to like $120. And I was just like, okay, if I buy these, I have to work out a way for them to stay in my ears so he cannot eat them. So yeah, that's why I want to get the ear covering thing so they stay in my ears at least. A string on a guitar, yeah. I mean, there is a string on a guitar. Kim Nelson has completed her queen size corner to corner for her second daughter as a wedding gift. So had a total deadline, yeah. And the bag I started this week is almost finished just to join the handle. That is awesome. So awesome. 4. Sorry, 4 is just what I have to tell myself to remind myself to do the things I've got to do. Otherwise, I end up in that hole like, oh my God, it's the wrong number of stitches in the spot. You can buy headband style earbuds. Yeah, but they're trash. I bought some and they move like the whole, because the headband moves, the earphone ends up in your eye. Yeah, I don't like them. Because I'm a baby, all right? I want what I want, Kim. So I'm going to work out a way so the earphones stay in my ears, but then the headband can move around if it wants to. Because I sleep like a rotisserie chicken. I constantly move, much to the chagrin of my husband. Maybe you should look at the headbands that they use for the kids with the grommets. Yeah, I think, was it Stacy who suggested the swim wraps that go over your ears for when you're swimming? I'm definitely going to have a look. The neoprene, you don't think they'll get too hot? That's part of the concern, right? It's Queensland. Like for right now, it'll be fine. But give it a couple of months and it's going to get to sweltering weather. So, I don't know. I can vouch for your chicken maneuvers. Kim has slept in the same room as me. I'm sorry, Kim. And I'm not quiet about it either, especially if it's a squeaky bed. It's like flip, boom. Oh, no. I'm sorry, Kim. Anything that isn't, they are wetsuit material as well. Okay. All right. Might definitely be. Oh, why do you wear them in bed? Okay. So, Gail, my husband snores really loudly and I'm a light sleeper. And over the years, I've worked out that if I sleep with an audio book, like headphones in my ears, like earbuds in my ears, I have an audio book. Like it's actually a set of books. I've been playing the same set for like the last 15 years. And because my brain knows that entire story, so I don't need to stay awake for it. And so what happens is that I'll wake up, like they don't stop me from hearing the snoring. I wake up, I roll over, I start the audio back up, and I get back to sleep really fast. Whereas if I don't have the audio book, it can take me an hour to get back to sleep. Whereas the audio book, I'm lights out within a few minutes. So it's like I've trained my brain and now I'm dealing with that because the dog keeps eating the headphones. You move less when you're in a single bed. I think you're too scared you're going to fall out. That's exactly what I'm scared of. So, yeah. Kim Nelson says the weather has been awesome the last couple of weeks. Getting to wear all the things handmade. I know, isn't it great? We're in Queensland. So Kim's in Queensland as well. And so this is subtropical, right? So making handmade things is because we like handmade things, not because we can wear them. And so it's been like real cold for us. And so I'm like wearing my cows. I've got my hoodie, like I've got like, my little blankets that I make in the laundry, like all these things that we can't normally wear. I think it's still hot for my crochet jumper. So that's definitely one. I just want to jump in here. No, not that one. This one here. Oh no, where is it? It keeps moving. Stop moving. Storm's heading towards Kathy. So Kathy, keep safe, and we will see you next time. And message us and let us know how you went, okay? Nothing stays on my head. I think my head shape is just not conducive to keeping them on. I can keep headbands and stuff on, no problems, but I've never tried keeping one on while I'm asleep. So last night I tried with one of just, the ones that you put on when you want to pull your hair away from your face while you got your makeup on, like just the little ones that are like this wide. And it does cover my ears, but within 5 seconds it had pushed off my ears. So I want one of the ones that are bigger, because basically it doesn't need to hold the earbud in place. It just needs to catch it if it falls out so the dog can't get it. Yeah. Sorry. My asthma has been playing up because of the cold weather. Okay. One. So you want ear warmers. I mean, I could probably make something out of cotton. John says I used to use a pillow speaker, and I've looked at that. Like, one thing I do if I'm away at a retreat and I forget my earphones, I actually slide my mobile phone under my pillow and play it really quietly. The catch is sometimes the volume accidentally gets turned up in the middle of the night and it wakes everyone up. But I could probably pull that off here at home because, I mean, the fire alarm doesn't wake Tim up. So can you wear a scarf on your head? Like, as in just a thin one. I just had like the second you said that, Holly, I just had that thought of like what those ladies used to wear to bed to keep their hair rollers in. That's what jumped into my head. I don't know if that's what you were thinking of, but that's the image that jumped into my head. And I've possibly got something like a piece of chiffon or something that I could use. No, Chaos Creator, that's not an option. Louis sleeps on our bed. And we don't mind that. We actually teach our pets to sleep on our bed. Get your dog his own set of meats. Oh dear. Sleep in a beanie. I mean, I'll probably die. I bought some cheap headbands on eBay that are 10 centimeters wide. Yeah, I picked some up at Big W. It's a similar sort of width, but they did move. Holly says that's exactly what I was thinking. Okay, all right. I'll have to have a look, because that should stay on, right? I mean, should being the operative room. Let Louis sleep in Abby's room. We've tried, because Louis was supposed to sleep in Abby's room, but he sneaks into our room every night, and I can't sleep with the door closed. The door has to be open. Mum in her kerchief and I and my cat had just her cap are just settled down for a long winter's nap. See, now I need that in like a cross stitch. That just, yeah. So I've got some good ideas now. Swim wraps and sort of like the hairnet kind of idea. Because it really is just to keep the earbuds away from Louis. They don't have to keep them in my ear. I can dig them out and put them back in and keep going if I wake up. Or when I wake up is probably more the operative word. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things. You guys are awesome for helping me troubleshoot this. So the satin shower cap style. Maybe. I'm going to Google that. So in my box of goodies over here is the new earbuds. But I also bought the cord to charge the old earbuds, which is like, well, that's going to be useless now. USB micro. I mean, who even has anything with USB micro anymore? Nobody. That's who. Everything's USB-C in my house, except for Abby's stuff, which is Lightning. Stupid Apple. Yeah. 4. I hear a car. Nope, it kept going. It just slowed down. So what I was hoping that would arrive today, which has not as yet, is I was really hoping that my spindles from Snyder Spindles would arrive. They're in Brisbane. They're with the delivery company, so they're with Australia Post. So, yeah. Ruth says hubby's going to bed, so she's been relegated to no television. Oh, sorry, Ruth. He sneaks into your room because you have the yummy earbuds. And you know what's really frustrating? Like, both nights it's happened, he doesn't do it during the night. He does it in the morning. So after I've gotten up or while I'm laying in bed reading. So I'm awake. So if I had just dug around and found them straight away and put them back in their cases, they'd be safe. Well, no, the Samsung ones, he knocked the case down and they flew out and he grabbed it. But with the other ones, they were in the bed and I was awake. And then my husband's come out of the shower. I was like, what's Louis eating? I'm like, I don't know. And Tim just hands me this little pile of crunched up black plastic and it's only he'd crunched it like once. So I was just like, a hand-dyed dog muzzle. I don't think so. Oh, goodness me. But yeah, do you know, like we haven't even gotten half a row done today, you guys. Goodness me. I'm totally blaming you all. Yeah, it's not my fault. It's not my fault I can't, not watch the chat and talk with my hands. So it's your own fault, yeah? Yes, it is. It's legitimately my own fault. I've got nobody else to blame. Like, it is my fault, which is why I'm trying to solve the problem because I need the earphones to sleep. But yeah, it is my fault. Oh, did you miss a stitch at about 4 stitches back? I don't think so. I think I went to stuff something up and then I pulled it out and fixed it. I think it's good. But thank you, Ruth. What's going to happen now is I'll go on and do the next row and then we'll be like, Chantel, you really did stuff that up. There's a double clip here, so I'll be able to work out if it's in this area. Or wouldn't that be nice? Yes. Oh dear. Yeah. Oh, it's never gonna happen. Oh wow. Sorry about the coughing, you guys. Oh, I fixed it. Thank you, Ruth. Yeah, I think I went to do something and realized I'd stuffed up and automatically pulled it back. Tim loves your ideas. Learn from my mistakes. Make sure you slip your stitch row, do your slip stitch row on your queen really loose. To make sure that I'm actually going to go up a hook. So I'm going to go up to a 6mm hook to do the slip stitch row because otherwise I will forget and then I'll go back and do the stitches with the 5mm. So that's my plan. I don't know if that plan's going to work, but that's totally my plan. Oh, here you go. Kim says I always go up a size for the slip stitch. There you go. Kim's smart. I would do what Kim says. Usually. Gail, no, he doesn't. We've sent him in for all the testing and stuff, and he has what's called domestic snoring. And he just snores really loud. So loud that he annoyed the staff in the sleep center. So, yeah. What do you mean I never do what you say? I do what you say lots of times. Not all the time, but lots of times. My dogs have to wear a muzzle when they're outside now as the bosses put out dog baits. Oh, no. Lisby says, my first time doing this, I'm regretting my life choices. Apparently, this is what I've heard. Apparently, It's just the slip stitch row that sucks. After that, it's so much easier. And it's like making a chain row. We all hate working into a chain row. You've got this, Lisby. You've got this. And it will suck. And then it will end and you'll get back onto a nice thing. Because I don't know what's going to suck worse. If I had to weave in all of this or having to work into slip stitches. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of ends on my blanket. So I'm really needing this to work, okay? I really need the border to work. Make a bag on your Cricut. Well, do you know what? You're right. That's one thing I haven't done because I'm terrified. But I also realized I don't have the right mat. I need a big pink mat to do the cutting out, don't I? That's what I thought I needed. I thought I didn't have what I needed. Maybe I'm wrong. You could tell me. So Kim, because you've made the bag for next weekend's retreat, can I cut that out on the Cricut, or do I need to actually cut it out? Because if I could cut it out on the Cricut, that'd be pretty damn cool. It depends on the size of the piece. Narrow that down. Slip stitches, no, definitely. No, it can't be worse than weaving in all the ends. It can't be. Oh, I can use the Cricut. So what you're saying is next weekend, I should take the Cricut with me. Is that what you're saying? But I'm still going to have to cut out all the interfacing and everything with my rotary cutter, right? I should also point out, everybody, I really suck at cutting things out. I'm very bad. I could have a stencil and still somehow screw it up. I'm not a good sewer. But I'm trying to get better because I want to make clothes. And if I can't make a bag that holds together, how am I going to hold together pants? And I don't want a pants failure. And I like pants because I want to make pockets. I want pants with pockets. Take all the cool toys. Kim says she only bothers with the Cricut for the vinyl and the leather. So I would still need to use... Yeah, I've already got the pattern. I could pre-cut. Yeah. Jackie says pants are easier than bags. You reckon? I don't know. I like bags. I don't have to worry about, potential fails, embarrassing fails with pants, with a bag. Less stress on the seams. No. Have you not met me? My clothes have stress on the seams. It's not so much the legs that I'm worried about. And that's chaos, right? Like, you can still use them if they're too small. Kim could visit and help with a pre-cut. Oh, I think I should probably try it by myself because Kim is awesome, but I do rely on her a lot. Like, can you please just come over and help? I'm scared. And then she's just like sits there and watches me and makes me do it anyway. Oh, sorry. I pulled that forward. More tea. I really like how this orange looks with the purple. Honestly, we've got yellow. I think a yellow next. We're a few rows away before we get to change colors, but there's a yellow next. And I think this is pretty much, this and the next row are the center pairs of chart 2. Not of the project, but of chart 2. Jackie says that she's made plenty of pants successfully, but has never tried to do a bag that was successful. See, I've had successful-ish bags. I mean, if I finished them, they'd probably be successful. Sorry. And my clothes have stress on the seams too. See, it's not just me. Drawstring linen pants. I like this. If you make pants, you can gut them. Gut the legs. Then you'll have a new bag. Oh, cut, not gut. Okay. All right. Very funny. Yes, Lisby. Poor Kim. We'll accept the challenge, but then we'll suffer for it. And then you'll suffer with her suffering. So, yeah, because you'll be feeling bad the entire time and she won't give it back until she's finished. So, yes. So, what are your plans for the week? Are you all going to continue on with your crochet and knit projects, or have you got exciting plans? I have no exciting plans because I'm a little unwell, so I'm hanging out at home. So that, you know, because like I know it's my asthma playing up, but if you cough in public right now, the looks you get, you're just like, whoa. So, yeah. It's definitely one of those, I'll just stay home. You know what? I'm just going to stay home. Lisby's over halfway now. Yes, Lisby, you've got this. You can totally do this. I need you to be able to do this so badly because I'm only not even halfway through my blanket yet. 4. Which hobby cotton did you get, Lisby? Because they've got so many different ones. Yeah, the cough or sneeze. That's right. Oh, I've still got that cut. I better move that. Yeah, no coughing or sneezing in public. Heaven forbid. And the problem I have with the sneezing in public is I sneeze in public all the time because there are some people on this planet, I'm not sure if you know this, but have no concept of what using sparingly means. So they basically sheep dip themselves in perfume. And that's basically like instant sneezing or like take my breath away, nearly have an asthma attack. And it's just like, I feel mean because they're just trying to feel good about themselves. But my brain's just like, oh, great. You feel good about yourself, but I am now dying. So yeah. The Cotton Kings 8-4 was meant to be an 8-ply. It's more like a 4. Isn't the 8-4 a 4-ply? I thought the 8-8 was an 8-ply. I don't know. Excitement equals staying at home and crafting. But the thing is, I don't get to do craft the whole time because I feel guilty. And I do other things because of guilt. Stupid guilt. Lindsay says my exciting plans are staying at home. I can't wait. Ruth says it's the granddaughter's birthday baby shower on Sunday. That sounds like fun. Leanne has a birthday lunch on Sunday if we stay out of lockdown. So far, so good. Enigmata says I have quite a few Zoom meetings this week. So rather than whine, I'll just knit through my meetings. Awesome. And that's the thing with Zoom meetings, isn't it? You can like adjust the camera so your hands are down and nobody can see what you're doing. Oh, that's definitely the other one when you have a drink and it goes down the wrong way. And it's like, I'm not sick, I promise. Jackie says, yeah, when I had my cold last week, I had my negative COVID, so ready to whip out if anybody complained. Yeah. Oh, Lisby says, well, yes, it does turn out that the 8-4 is a 4-ply. Oh, Lisby, you're staying in bed week 7 out of 8. Oh, you are nearly there. Do you think you'll be able to stop at 8? Like, they're not planning on extending it on you or anything like that? I've got my fingers so crossed for you. Jenna says I do that all the time on Zoom. Yeah. Or not have your camera on at all. Some places, like, especially if it's a work meeting, they like require the camera on. Oh, Holly, last year I saw a meme that said people with seasonal allergies are the new Salem witches. Oh, I can tell you from experience, it feels like it. It feels like it if you cough or sneeze in public and you're just like, dude, I'm sneezing because you like reek of like perfume. Like, you have to pay per mil, right? Like, you could save your money by using a quarter of the amount and probably smell better because it's not designed to sheep dip in it. It's like you do a pump in the air and walk into it. That's what it's designed for. Not like like double hand action. Oh my god. Um Here we go. It's likely to extend. Oh, it'll be very gradual step back in your wheelchair. At least they're being cautious. At least they're being cautious. Oh, yeah. And wait, yeah, August. August is the worst time for me. It's like, happy birthday. Here is the winds of the Eka. Ha ha ha. Ivory does it for me as well. What's that mean, Freaky? I'm confused. Oh, try coughing or sneezing in an airport. Oh my goodness. Yes. My work does not require camera on, which is good. Some places people can complain about sexual harassment if you ask to turn on the camera. What? You should tell people I'm sneezing because you reek. Oh, I've said it, maybe not quite in those terms, but I have pointed out that there is a that spritz is the recommended amount. The sheep dipped perfume dispensary. We need that on a cross stitch. Goodness me. Oh yeah, crochet a cover for your camera so they can just see like the back end of knitting. They wear it so often that they don't smell it anymore, but they're practically walking around in a visible pink cloud of perfume. Yes, that. There, down like that. I'm pointing in the wrong direction. There we go. I don't even know anymore. What day is it? Oh, and like, guys, if you're a smoker and you think spraying yourself with perfume helps, it doesn't. It doesn't help at all. It makes it worse. And because like I had a big discussion with my mum about it because she's a smoker, and then before I came over, because the cigarette smell also affects me, and before I came over she would be like and I was like, mom, look, I can deal with the cigarette smell better than whatever the hell that was. Please don't do it. Kim says maybe they smell. It's like, okay, there are these things that we have: deodorant and antiperspirant. They're two different things. Antiperspirant helps get rid of the stenchy, well, it helps your body not make the stenchy smell. Deodorant covers the stenchy smell, and then perfume goes on top of that to like create this extra layer of stenchness, stench notness. What we need is a triangle chart of like antiperspirant, deodorant, perfume, multiple perfumes, and sheep dipping. Who's good at making graphics? We need that. We need that graphic. I'm so terrible at graphics. Where is it? In public, I sneeze. My husband looks at me like I have the plague. Yes, absolutely. Soap and water. Soap and water. Look, and I understand that's not always an option. You know what I mean? Like, it's not always an option to jump in the shower, because it's just not. But yeah, it's and compounding one smell with another smell, unless it's like unless you're Febrezing yourself and it's actually, or Glen 20ing or something, and it's getting rid of the initial odor, just covering it never helps. I also don't recommend Febrezing yourself or Glen 20ing yourself. Just to throw that out there, I definitely don't. A floral scented nicotine, yeah. Enigmata says, I can no longer deal with smoke scent. I used to smoke and quit, and now realize how bad non-smokers were bothered by my masked smoke scent. And that's the thing, like, I was a smoker as well. And and you do realize it. You don't know it until you, because you do, your sense of smell is changed. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things. Swim in vodka. I mean, won't you die? Like, will that not kill you if you literally swim in vodka? Like, having a vodka, fine, but won't swimming in it like kill you? Febreze, not freeze, Febreze. You guys, I don't even know if Febreze is still available in Australia. When I was a teenager, it was. My mum used to Febreze my brother's hockey gear and then leave it outside. Oh, here we go. Jackie with the science. Jackie with the science, bringing it in. Research shows that bacteria that cause the BO smells prefer synthetic fabrics. By wearing natural fibers, you can reduce the smells. Okay, cool. Because I personally prefer cotton. And is it just me? Like I'm not sure of the sizes of everybody in the room. Okay, but I find that when I go to like the big girl shops, that the majority of clothing is polyester. And I just have this thought that jumps into my mind, which is like, sure, because what this fatty, sweaty thing needs is a garbage bag, because that will definitely help. And am I the only one who thinks, oh, yeah, let's buy that polyester or rayon top or whatever it is that they're trying, so mostly polyester actually, that they're trying to sell. That's such a great idea. Like, why not have like beautiful cotton or linen? In saying that, scored myself 3 pairs of linen pants the other day. So proud, so happy. But yeah, the vodka will only kill me if I'm an earthworm, so not an earthworm. So cool. Swimming in vodka is go. Jackie says it's not just the big girl shops. Most clothing is polyester because it's cheaper. I'm going to tell you though, in the big girl shops, you're spending $90 on a top and it's polyester. And so, yeah, I'm just like, what the frick? Like, if I'm spending $10, I get it. But I can go to like Best and Less and pick up a organic cotton t-shirt for $10. So you guys might wonder why I wear a lot of t-shirts. It's because they're cotton and I like cotton. I like cotton and linen. They're great. I'm actually wearing linen pants right now. Love them. Gail says, I'm with you. Leanne says, I don't sweat, I glisten. Bring it on. Bring it on the geek lines. Love it. It's that's from Colson says that in a scene in which my brain won't give me the TV series name. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Thank you, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's cheaper, so they just make more money off you, because that's the thing. Like, in Australia, I'm a size 22. Even the big girl stores tend to tap out at a 26. So it is definitely one of those things where I've got to go into these other shops where and more often than not, like, I consider myself a youngish person. I every now and again get into the I'm an old lady mindset, but I'm not. I'm still early 40s, so I don't want to dress in like a floral muumuu. Not bagging floral. Actually, yeah, I'm bagging floral muumuus. They're hideous and they don't look good on anybody. But I don't want one. So for me to get something nice, I got to spend this ridiculous money, and I don't like it. So I don't look. I wear t-shirts and pants all the time. That's what I wear. I live in that. That's my clothing, because anything nice, polyester, and I do not cope. Apparently, you're likely, is that if we swim in the vodka? Because that's what I'm thinking. And you will eventually, like, if you swim around for a while and exert yourself, like doing laps. So, yeah. Oh, sorry, Enigmata. You're right. You're right. Oh, here we go. Why are the clothes not only polyester but disgustingly ugly? Yes, absolutely. Many years ago, I know it's after 12, everybody. So I'm quite aware that, you know, you guys are going to bail. But many years ago, there was this store called 1626. It was brought out by Katie's here in Australia. And what it was is Katie's was young and fun and hip clothing. And 1626 was that clothing, but made in sizes 16 to 26. So I went crazy. I bought all these clothes that I actually liked wearing and that I felt good in and were made out of nice stuff. Then 1626 got bought out by Miller's and became Autograph. And Miller's is not meant for young people. Miller's is meant for 60 plus. And I stopped buying fun, funky clothing. But Autograph has recently changed hands again and is now owned by somebody else who also bought all the Miller's brands. They bought the whole lot. And it's starting to, it's not back, but it's got like a section of clothing that's not hideous. So, you know, yay. I'm going with a win. That's a win. Stacy says that's why you make your own clothes. It's not cheaper, but you get what you want. It's definitely not cheaper. But yes, and that's the thing. I want to make my own clothes, and that's why I'm learning to sew. But I'm also terrified because the fabric's expensive, which is why I still haven't made the wrap dress, because the fabric I bought to make the wrap dress cost me $75, which is so expensive because I needed so much to wrap around this. So yeah. Alison says, I find it hard to find large sizes in cotton or linen, and particularly hard to find large sizes that aren't like tents. So now I found a good dressmaker to get made to measure tailored clothes. And I actually think a lot of people are going to go that way, because surely we are a group of 30 odd people from around the world, all different sizes, all different countries, or basically 2 countries really, but and we're all having the same problem. The clothes in the stores do not fit, or if they do fit, they're hideola, right? So we've got to go. We've got to go make our own, because that's what we have to do to get what we like. Lisby says there's no nice clothes for us bigger girls. It makes me sad. And the issue I have is I don't like floral and I don't like crazy patterns. I like really nice single tones or blocks of color that aren't crazy. Yeah, it's just one of these things that, like, I buy a lot of gray because I like gray, and then I've got like dark blue pants. Oh, you can't see that. That's as high as my leg goes. Oh, no, done. And that's what I do, is I'll wear like dark bottoms and light tops. But yeah, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. Kim Nelson has got a better run, gives me meaning to these lyrics, running from the reeking smells. It does. Now you'll be running from the people with the reeking smells. Good point, Freaky. We are on the same planet. We may not be the same continent, but we are on the same planet. Bub's got to go as well because the visitors have arrived. I'm going to have to scoot too because I'm expecting a visitor too. So I'm going to have to scoot as well. But Jen's piece of advice, and Jen has made tons of queens. She stitched in the bigger hook and then did the border in the smaller hook. A smaller hook, one smaller than the blanket because it was still too tight. Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. And because it's the edge, it doesn't matter if you go down a little bit more. Kim says cashmere is the best big size patterns you can make. They actually come up in my feed. I've never bought from them though. Vampire says, I give up on looking in the big girls' clothes. I just beeline to the men's section to find things that fit. If I want geeky t-shirts, I got to go to the men's section. It's that simple. And I have to get those stupid like crew necks, which I hate so much. So much. Anyway, this has been an awesome chat. I'm quickly going to end this poll so that the poll is ended. End poll. End poll. There we go. I'll end that poll. Those of us that actually finished a project. Let's find out how many of us actually finished a project this week. I might actually make these regular poll questions of have you started something new and did you finish something? So yeah. So we had 33 votes, 51% said no, and 48% said yes. All right. Awesome. Okay, on that note, everybody, I'm going to love you and leave you all. I Freaky says 7 voters short from the last. Well, I mean, Freaky, the last one was covered a much longer period of time, and yeah. Why are we guilting? Stop guilting us into things. What am I guilt? Oh, I'm guilting you into finishing projects. Sorry, it took me a second there to realize what was going on. It's all good. I'll see you all next week. I hope you have a fantastic week. Next week, I'll probably be doing something along the lines of maybe this. I'll probably still be on this row, the way things are going. Who knows? Or maybe I could be packing my stuff ready for the sewing retreat. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Why would I know? Anyway, I'll see you all next time. Have a fantastic week. Bye, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. See yous.